This is Mitchell Toole and for AVNation at ISE 2023 in Barcelona. And I am joined by Gilbert, Felix from ENCO. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me.
How's Barcelona treating you?
Very well, very well. I think the last time I was here, I was very young. This time, you know, it's a little bit different. You know, you're here for work, and you know, it's a little chilly for me. I'm from Arizona, so you know, I'm used to heat.
Yeah, that's fair. The last couple of InfoCons before this have been in Amsterdam, so in a way, I think I'm a little okay with this. This is a little less brisk.
That's true.
But,
that's true.
So you guys, I know you are doing radio automation software. That thing. I have a broadcasting background, so I'm familiar at least with the radio side of that kind of thing. But tell the folks what it is you guys are mainly doing.
Okay, so our history, I mean, ENCO is a software-based company. We started back in '83 with radio automation. We were like the first ones to really create a radio automation, and if you can believe it, we were doing it in DOS, you know, pre-Windows. And from there, our company really grew. You know, today we still have, I don't know, maybe over 10,000 radio stations being controlled by our automation system called DAD. But back in 2005, we started doing automated closed captioning, completely AI, speech to text. We're taking actual speech, converting it through ASR, automatic speech recognition, and creating captions. Right, we either are feeding it to a closed captioning encoder, or feeding it to a streaming encoder. In the AV world, we do a lot of what we call open caption or stage captioning, where we would come into some kind of event where we would listen to the actual presenters and project the captions on monitors next to the stage. The accuracy is extremely good, you know, somewhere between 92 to 95%.
That's really great.
Yeah, and it's the interesting thing is that it's AI, but it's on-prem as well, so you don't need a cloud. So if you're in a, you know, sometimes you may be in a situation where you don't have internet or you don't have that.
Right, a very strange stage or something like that.
Exactly, or if you lose internet, then you'll have no captions, right? And that usually happens in events. So we do have the ability of actually, you know, processing locally on the machine and projecting it on monitors, but we also do up to 40 different languages. So
I was going to ask if it was just English or if actually you have a
No, we can do up to 40 languages as long as the audio is in that language.
Right.
Right. So if we can do Spanish, we also have different versions and locale of English.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because let's say, you know, if we're in America, we would also, you know, we would set the locale to US, but let's say we go to the UK, now we're going to set UK locale because it's not because of the actual accent, but because of how different words are spelled.
Right, there's just different terminologies.
Yeah,
there's toilet paper and there's loo roll.
Exactly. The car park instead of the parking lot, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, that is, you know, and that's one of the beauty of our product is that we're not only in broadcast, but now we are in the AV world. And if you really think about it, the American Disabled Act in the United States started back in the 70s, where they say everything needs to be closed captioning. Now, where we are today is that the American Disabled Act is now closed captioning is falling under the American Disabled Act. So anything that is either streamed or on YouTube, everything needs to have captions. So we can provide both. You know, our biggest market is the TV broadcast world, but now we are branching out to what we call in the U.S. PEG. I don't know if you heard that terminology before.
I don't think so.
It's called Public, Educational, and Government.
Okay.
As well as AV situations. You know, We can also do translation. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we have the ability of taking, let's say, an English, let's say you're doing an English presentation. We can caption the English, but then we can also bounce back from the cloud. Now we're using the cloud.
There we go.
We can bounce back different languages.
And is there any delay in that, or is it pretty?
The actual delay within, like the English text is somewhere between 2 to 4 seconds.
That's not bad.
No. If you really think about it, live captioners, their delay can be somewhere between 5 to 7 seconds.
Right, yes, because that's a stenographer.
A stenographer, and the interesting thing, it is a human being too, right? Mm-hmm. So here's a couple of things that we don't do. We don't do typos, right?
Right.
And a captioner may do a typo. The other thing too is we don't get lost. So let's say there's a heated discussion where there's a lot of people talking, and the captioner may get lost and not catch everything that was being said, and then he would have to go back and mentally summarize what was said.
Right.
And then you're not actually getting the original text.
Yeah. It's not like in the live event space anything would go wrong. Nothing
Right.
goes wrong. Everything just goes perfectly.
Oh, it goes perfectly.
And this sounds like it's a very helpful thing. Not just that. I mean, personally, as an audio person, I value my ears, but I think I put subtitles on anything I can.
Right.
Like, as long as it is, if it's available.
Exactly. And you know what? And people, especially at your age, I don't mean to sound like, my daughter is 24 and she doesn't watch anything unless the closed captioning is on. And it's mainly for concentration. She says, "Oh no, Dad, because I'm multitasking here. I'm like, answering a text and doing this, and then I'm still watching that." I think the biggest plus of our equipment, or one of the big advantages that we have, is that we can add local terminology as well. So let's say you're going to be doing a live stage event where there are speakers who may have complicated last names, or because remember, even though we may have 1 billion English terms within our speech engine, we may not know how to spell your last name.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we can actually learn or teach the system, not through voice training, but just strictly importing text into the system.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so this is on the show floor?
You can do it on the fly, on the show floor, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
I would recommend, if you're going to have a live event, there's going to be some pre-production. You know who your speakers are. Let's get ready for that,
Right. So not everybody is going to be, unfortunately, not everybody's going to be able to go to Barcelona. So if they wanted to learn more about this or more about ENCO, how can they do that?
Please visit our website. It's enco.com. Very simple. We are based out of Novi, Michigan. But we do have salespeople all over the country, all over the U.S. And like I mentioned, we will be at InfoComm this year in Orlando. We were in Vegas last year, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to come to ISE, is to really experience and see, and open different markets here for us, because we are already, in the AV market, we see a lot of opportunities for our products.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. And thank you for showing up, Gil.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for watching. For more coverage of ISE 2023 and other shows like InfoComm, visit us at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.